Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaaya Trambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagnikalaya Kalagni Rudraya Neelakantaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om, salutations to all. So Rudrashtakam, you should remember, beautiful composition of Tulsidas ji, and it is in the Uttar Ramayana. And Stuti is by a guru to save his disciple from the curse. Actually, to redeem the disciple, not save. Yeah, to redeem the disciple who was Kakabhushundi ji in his earlier life, and to please Bhagwan Shiva who cursed him, this stuti has been sung. So it is the expression of the compassion of the Guru for the disciple, and also the praise of Bhagwan. So born out of the Guru's compassion, this stuti is there. Different aspects we are seeing of Bhagwan, his Nirgun Nirakar Roop, then his Sagun Sakar Roop, some of his beautiful qualities. Today is the 6th verse. So the 6th verse says, Kalatita Kalyana Kalpantakari Sada Sajjanananda Data Purari Chidananda Sandoha Mohapakari Prasida Prasida Prabho Manmathari. Kalatita. So Bhagwan is beyond parts. One meaning of Kala is parts. So our body has different parts. Anything which is finite will have parts. So that which has no gross form, that which does not have any parts, because even something which is subtle can have parts. Like we say, our antakarana has 4 parts: mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. So it is sukshma sharira, but it has, 5 senses of knowledge, 5 senses of action, 5 pranas, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. These 19 aspects constitute our sukshma sharira. So there can be parts even to something which is subtle, something which is gross, even something which is as subtle as vasanas, which are unmanifest. They are the causal body. Even there we see sattvic, rajasic, tamasic types of vasanas. So this whole thing is in the realm of the finite. That which does not have any parts, Kalatita, is the infinite supreme consciousness. So though we see Bhagwan has a form, in his true nature he is the formless truth. Kalatita. So Kalatita means what? That which does not have birth, which does not have form, which does not change, which will not die. Kalatita. then though Bhagwan has a form, we should we should not think that that form is imaginary or the form does not exist. But the form is only an external appearance. The true nature is formless. Like physical body of ours is a gross body that is having a form. It is an expression of subtle body which is not having this type of a form. It is that Jiva who has taken so many forms, who is by itself formless. And that's the beauty. Being formless, one can take any form. So many forms are possible. So, Bhagwan's form is there, it has a specific purpose, but Bhagwan's true nature is formless, Kalatita. So, when we contemplate not only that Bhagwan is formless, but I am also formless in my true nature because I am one with Bhagwan. This form is there because of karma. To exhaust certain karmas, one has taken a form. And as long as the cycle of karma is there, one will keep taking more and more forms. So even if we think of it from the standpoint of a jiva, we don't have a specific form always. For a short while, for some karma, this body has been taken. Then karma gets over, some other form will come, not necessarily again a human form. Some people think once a human, always a human. That is not true. Once a human, always human. Who said that? Shastra doesn't say. One can take any form. So we are also formless, even as a jiva. Even as a form, we are continuously changing. Just that our senses, which are limited, so we can't see. Otherwise, every minute, so many cells are born, they are dying. We think this is the same form which we have been having from birth, but that is not true. One has grown from a seed to this big form. One has changed so much. Every moment, one is changing. And we are seeing so many aspects today that, okay, once in 7 years, the entire body is replaced. All the cells in the body are replaced, completely new. So if somebody is, let us say, 49 years old, then 7 bodies that person has already taken in this body only, in this life only. Which body is one? So if one goes into the depth of it, we are actually formless, not limited by any form, taking a form temporarily to exhaust certain karma. So Kalatita. The more we think of that, the more detachment comes from the form, from the body. Kalatita, Kalyana. Bhagwan is of the nature of Kalyan, auspiciousness, blessedness. Bhagwan's nature is that Kalyana, and he does Kalyana of the whole world. We saw that earlier also. Took the poison for the sake of the world, sent his Vasuki for churning of the ocean, has the Ganga on his forehead. All that he has done for what? For Jagat Kalyan, Lok Kalyan. So Kalyan is his nature, well-being, to think of the good of others, to bring goodness to others. That's why his name is Shambhu, Sham, auspiciousness, Shiva, auspiciousness. So Kalyan is the nature of Bhagwan. Though with him, what are the factors associated? We don't associate it with Kalyan. That is our limitation. We associate those with inauspiciousness because we have attachment. So snake is there. Just now, this month only, Naga Panchami we celebrate. People think, what is this? People, they are worshipping snakes, and you know, rat is the Vahan of Bhagwan Ganesh ji, and then peacock, and monkey god Hanuman. And what is this Hindu people? So primitive in their thinking, not scientific, not logical. Snake is considered evil in many cultures, but in our culture, snake has so much of significance. The Shakti that is coiled up in each one is represented as a snake, Kundalini Shakti, coiled serpent. And when that coiled serpent rises, moves up, comes to Sahasrara, that energy, dormant energy is snake. Bhagwan Adi Shesha, thousand-hooded snake, is the support of the whole universe. He is the bed on which Bhagwan Vishnu relaxes, reclines. So many such things we see. How for us a snake is an integral part of not only of Prakriti. Even if you think about it, if the snakes are not there, ours is an agricultural country also. So many rats and rodents and all of them will come and destroy the entire crop. So there are many ways to see. So snake, Bhagwan has a snake. We associate snake with, but do you know snake poison is used in some of the medicines also. So what we think as inauspicious, when associated with Bhagwan becomes auspicious. Vasuki is the king of snakes. Bhagwan Shiva has a snake, Vishnu Bhagwan has a snake, Kundalini is connected to the snake. Different things associated with snake, very powerful. And they are not only the species like the physical snakes alone. There are devatas. So Nag devatas are there. For each of those, some of those they are the in the lower worlds also. They will have the specific deities, and one is actually worshipping those deities, not worshipping only the physical snakes there. Like Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, like that, there is Nagadev also. So, auspiciousness. Snake is associated with by us through as though something inauspicious it is. Yes, there is a danger, there is no doubt some of the snakes are poisonous, one has to be careful. But we associate, cremation ground, we associate with inauspiciousness. Bhagwan stays in the cremation ground, is full of vairagya. Ash, we associate with inauspiciousness. Bhagwan applies that bhasma all over the body. Poison, we associate with inauspiciousness. Bhuta, Preta, Pishacha, we associate with inauspiciousness. We reject all those who are rejected by the world, Bhagwan keeps. That is the sign of Kalyan, compassion of Bhagwan. Ghosts, goblins, Bhuta, Preta, Pishacha, all of them, they all are there around the Lord. Whom the world has rejected, Bhagwan has accepted. So Kalyana is that, the one who is of the nature of auspiciousness, who brings auspiciousness to others. Kalatita, Kalyana. Then Kalpantakari, one who is the destroyer of the creation at the end of a kalpa. So Satyug, Tretayug, Dwaparyug, Kalyug, Pralay. Kalpantakari, one who brings about that massive destruction. What happens at that time? The whole creation goes into unmanifest state. And then again, when the Srishti starts, it will start back from there only. So no jiva will ever escape their karma phala. Just like when we go to sleep in the state of deep sleep, every day when we go to deep sleep, mind intellect becomes unmanifest. The next day when we wake up, we continue from there only. Same mind again manifests. So the same desires, thoughts, emotions, everything comes back. Just like we go to sleep, nothing is destroyed, it only becomes unmanifest. Same way, the Srishti becomes unmanifest in Ishvara. All the jivas, everything becomes unmanifest during pralay. Only the physical destruction happens. But when the Srishti starts again, all of them continue as it is. Of course, they will wait as per their karma to get the appropriate bodies in the appropriate yugas. So, Satyug, not everybody will be immediately born in Satyug. They will have to wait. If they need Kali Yuga, they will be born in Kali Yuga. If they need Dwapar Yuga, they will be born in Dwapar Yuga. Up till then, they will have whatever some interim bodies in the appropriate lokas. So the point here is Kalpantakari. When we say that Bhagwan brings about the destruction, from one angle, what we think is destruction is actually the rest for the jiva. In the march of evolution, the jiva also gets tired actually. Like how we get tired through the day and then we go to sleep, then we rejuvenate ourselves, again we start working. How many years when we live, day by day, 24 hours, we do some work, we get tired, we go to sleep, again get up, again work, again get tired, again go to sleep. It goes on. In one life only, how much rest one needs. Imagine life after life after life, the jiva has been searching for happiness. And suppose the jiva doesn't get any rest at all. Bhagwan says, put the whole thing in unmanifest state. Kalpantakari. Even Brahmaji requires rest. After 1,000 cycles of uh, Chaturyugi is over, Brahmaji will go to sleep. That is one day of Brahmaji. 43 lakh 20,000 years into 1,000 is one day of Brahmaji. Then he goes to sleep. When he goes to sleep, all the jivas are unmanifest state. That is called the pralay which has happened. And Brahmaji is asleep for equally long period of time, 43 lakh 20,000 years into 1,000. Then when Brahmaji wakes up, again the Srishti starts. So what looks as a destruction on one hand is actually rest on the other hand. It is actually that the jiva is an unmanifest state, rejuvenating, refreshing oneself, and again the jiva will continue. So Kalatita, Kalyana, Kalpantakari, whatever is associated with Bhagwan will be Kalyan. So if you think how they have been brought together, Kalyan and Kalpantakari, whose nature is auspiciousness and yet is destroying everything. How can auspiciousness and destruction go together? Because that's how the understanding has to be clear. He is not destroying out of sadistic joy to kill somebody and feel happy about it. No, it's for the Kalyan of the Jiva only. When the pralay will happen, Kalpantakari. Kalatita Kalyana Kalpantakari Sada Sajjanananda Data Purari. Those who are Sajjana, who are good people, Sattvic people, to them Sada Ananda, Sada Sajjanananda Data gives Ananda to them. Oh, he gives Ananda only to Sajjana, not to other people. He is in the hearts of all. Bhagwan Swarupa is Satchidananda only. But those who have turned to Bhagwan, they experience. Those who have not, they don't experience. You know, Vivekananda used to give a very nice analogy. God is in the center and we are on the circumference. The devotee is the one who has turned towards God. The non-devotee is the one who is turned away from God. That's the only difference. God is in the center. If I turn towards God, I experience Anand here and now. If I've turned away from God and I'm searching for happiness in the world outside, then I keep searching. But Bhagwan is in our own hearts. So sada sajjanananda. Those who have purified their mind, those who have done sadhana, those who are devotees who have surrendered to Bhagwan, to them it is evident. Bhagwan is actually self-evident. It is there right here and now, in this very moment, as the consciousness in us, as we are thinking, speaking. Bhagwan alone is enabling all that. But when we don't know that, then we are running outside. So sada sajjanananda data. He brings delight to the sajjana. How? When the sajjan is aware that every moment Bhagwan is with me, there is nothing to run after. Shiva is here and now. Being fully here and now, one recognizes I am infinite consciousness. Being fully here and now, doing one thing at a time with full attention, our mind goes away from the past and the future, comes fully into the now. If it comes fully into the now, it has the ability to drop all attachments from the BMI, turn within, realize the truth here and now. That, oh, this is my nature. Otherwise, we are lost in past and future, then we are trapped in thought. So, Sajjana means that one who recognizes Sat. Sajjan means one who also practices values. And one who practices values, who lives dharmic way, experiences a lot of bliss, happiness. The happiness born out of dharma is much more subtler, powerful than happiness of sense enjoyments. That is temporary at a body level, and that makes us dependent on some things, some enjoyments. But the happiness born out of a quiet mind, sattvic mind, when the mind has become quiet, naturally our nature, which is happiness, we experience that. So Sajjana is that one whose mind is purified, whose mind is quiet, calm, recognizes, Arey, this is my Swarup. And Bhagwan is also an embodiment of values. So the devotee also admires Bhagwan's values, leelas, virtues, and that brings great delight. Reading the Shiva Puran, chanting the name of Bhagwan, doing the Abhishek of the Lord, offering Bilva Patra, whatever we do in sadhana, dedicating to Bhagwan, brings great delight. Sada Sajjanananda Data. Bhagwan only gives Ananda to all because his Swarup is Anand. We just saw Kalyana. Then why there is so much of evil in the world, Swamiji? So much of sorrow, suffering, exploitation, violence, killing, looting, murder, arson. My God, what all is happening in the world? Terrific things happening in the world. That is because human being has become selfish. Bhagwan is not giving all that. If you take the human being out of this world, out of this Srishti, Srishti will be most peaceful. Happily it will go on. There is no problem. Bhagwan gave choice to the human being, gave the buddhi to the human being with increased levels of self-awareness and the ability to do purushartha. If we don't use that well, that is why we land up in what we land up. Otherwise, we have the freedom to do what we want to because Bhagwan has given that special capability in this human body. And so the sorrow is not created by Bhagwan. Why did God create evil? If God's nature is Ananda, why did he create evil? Who created evil? In Jiva Srishti there is evil. Ishvara Srishti there is no evil. So if Jiva learns to control oneself, that's why the word Sajjana is there. If I become Sajjana, then there is only Ananda. Same Srishti in which we are living, realized people live with so much of bliss, Sarvam Brahmamayam, Sarvam Anandamayam, that is their Anubhav. And in the same Srishti in which we live, Sarvam Dukkham, why identified with the temporary? Sarvam Kshanikam Kshanikam, Sarvam Dukkham Dukkham. Identified with the temporary, running behind it, wanting to grab it, snatch it from somebody. In that one is doing all kinds of evil. Because one is not sajjan then. One is not following the right values, universal values. One is not following dharma properly. One has some misunderstanding, a wrong notion, and one goes on living in a selfish way. Then there will be dukkha only. Bhagwan did not create that. If the petrol is there in the car, the driver drives the car. If the driver goes and bangs on the tree somewhere because the driver is drunk, can we say why the petrol is creating accident? That is stupidity. Petrol doesn't create accident. Petrol is that because of which the car will move. Some drivers are driving nicely, sane, have not drunk, know the destination, have the full control on the equipment. They go and reach the destination. They are happy. The passengers who are with them are happy. Now some driver is not, who is drunk, goes and bangs somewhere. Then says because of petrol all this happened. Why did, if God was there, then there would not be suffering in the world. God is there, that's why we are able to go on still. In spite of all the sorrows, Bhagwan is compassionate. All the papa karma that we have done, still he gives opportunities to us to evolve. That is Kalyana Swarupa Bhagwan. If God is there, there should not be evil. Exactly ulta it is. Because man is there, there is evil. Remove man, no evil. So once we recognize, then we have to become sajjana. And more one has to purify the mind. Then one will recognize Sada Sajjana Ananda. Bhagwan only gives Ananda. If even bitter medicine is given by a mother, what is the intention of the mother? Is only the good of the child. The child may not like it, resist it, and spit it out, and mother again feeds. Why? Because that's good for the child. Some negative karma we have done, Bhagwan gives us the negative karma phala. We suffer through it, but if we understand, we will not resist, let it pass. Because Bhagwan's Swarup is Ananda. He can only give Ananda. If there is some sorrow, there is because of my attachment or some negative karma. That's the only reason why I have sorrow in my life individually. And in that also, Bhagwan is with me to exhaust that karma. Bhagwan only brings satsang. Bhagwan only gives us so many capabilities to even deal with that negative karma phala. If I remember all that, I will never become ungrateful. Kritagna, one will never become ungrateful. One will be Kritagna, grateful, and thank Bhagwan that even there, when we see Bhagwan out of compassion, if I am supposed to suffer, let us say for 10 years, Bhagwan reduces it, makes it 1 year. Chalo, khatam karo isko. Compassion of Bhagwan is a lot. One can't fathom that. So once one understands that Kere Bhagwan is only Ananda, Sada Sajjana Ananda Data Purari. And if it is said he gives Ananda to Sajjana, then might as well become Sajjan. Bhagwan gives Ananda to Durjan also in some ways. How? When they are killed by Bhagwan or they get destroyed, they again go to Bhagwan only. So even Durjan Bhagwan gives Anand, then why will he not give to Sajjan? Pain can come in our life based on past karma. Suffering and sorrow is our choice. If I remember Bhagwan, then no suffering and sorrow. Pain may be there. One deals with it. Agama paino anitya. They come, they go. One deals with it, exhausts it. Sada Sajjanananda Data Purari, who is the destroyer of Tripura Sura. So after Tarakasura was killed, The three sons of Tarakasura, they pray to Brahmaji and they get the boon. They want to be immortal, but Brahmaji says immortality can't be given. So they decide that they come up with a unique boon. So they say that you make three cities, one of gold, one of silver, and one of iron and steel. Each of us will be in one city, make all forms of development, enjoyment, sense pleasures, everything in that. We will enjoy our life. And we should not be destroyed until all the three cities align, which will align once in 1,000 years. They will all come in one line. And only Lord Shiva must kill. Through one arrow at the appointed time when the three cities align, Bhagwan has to shoot an arrow with a special bow and arrow and chariot, and then only we will get destroyed. So Brahmaji said, okay. If you read the scriptures, na, very unique boons these Rakshasas come up with, the demons they come up with, very innovative. How to become immortal, how many different ways they think. Devatas are not that creative in that sense. They are lost in enjoyment because of punya karma they got. These asuras are very creative. New boons they come up with. How to be immortal. So Brahmaji said, okay. And these are devotees of Bhagwan Shiva only. So they know that okay, Bhagwan will not kill us. But taking Bhagwan for granted, they start tormenting people. Shiv Purana is a very long description. I'm cutting it short. So when Bhagwan sees Devatas also come and they pray, and finally Bhagwan has to kill them, he takes a special chariot. Sun and the moon are the wheels of the chariot. Vishnu Bhagwan is, Brahmaji is the charioteer. Vishnu Bhagwan is the arrow. Pinaka is the bow of Bhagwan Shiva. And he waits on his chariot for the cities to align. 1,000 years waiting. And when they align, he shoots. Tripura is killed. All the three are killed. Now, that is the story, Tripurari. But what is the meaning of that? Tripura Rahasya is very deep. One of the simple points in that is this: three states of awareness: waking, dream, deep sleep. They don't come together, they come one after the other. Sometimes in between states are there, no doubt, but they are not aligned always together. So in Nididhyasan, slowly, when one has withdrawn the attention from everything else, through steady contemplation, one gets into the state of samadhi, gone beyond the three: waking, dream, deep sleep. And what is the arrow which will pierce through all these three? Vishnu. Vishnu means one who is all pervasive. So when one contemplates, I am that all pervasive infinite consciousness, then as though the three demons, who are the three demons? Tripurasuras, Vishwa, Tejas, Prajna. Consciousness identified with the waking entity, Mr. So and so in the waking state, is called Vishwa. Consciousness identified with the dream is Tejas. Identified with the deep sleep is Prajna. These three, in the waking state, when I have learned to withdraw my attention away from the body, mind, intellect, waking, dream, deep sleep, one enters into Samadhi Avastha through Nididhyasan on Vishnu. Vishnu is not form, Vishnu is consciousness here. That I am infinite consciousness, Aham Brahmasmi, pierce, destroyed, Tripurasura, false identification gone. So Purari means that. And Pura also means body. This body is made up of 5 elements. It is called as a city of 9 gates. So this body One who is not identified with the body, who has no attachment to the body, is Shiva. So, Sada Sajjanananda Data Purari, one who is the destroyer of false identification with the body and waking dream deep sleep, we go from gross body to subtle body to causal body and again we come back. So, one who destroys all the three bodies by giving us knowledge of our true nature, that Adi Guru is Bhagwan Shiva. Our avidya is removed, false notion that I am the BMI will be destroyed, cycles of birth and death will be destroyed. All the three gone. Causal body gone, subtle body gone, gross body gone. One realizes absolute. That is the way in which he gives Ananda to Sajjana. So that's beautiful connection there. Sada Sajjanananda. How does he give Ananda to the Sajjana? Because he is Purari. He will destroy their false identification, their avidya, make one realize the absolute truth. What is that absolute truth? Chidananda Sandoha. He is an embodiment of consciousness and bliss. Is Shiva. Chidananda Sandoha. Mohapakari. If my nature is Chidananda, then why am I not realizing? Because of moha, avidya. I don't know who am I, and then I have the delusion that I am the BMI. And so many other wrong notions one has in the head, delusions. Happiness is in the world outside, the world is real. By cutting corners, quickly we will get success. Greed is good, anger is necessary to achieve things in the world. Forgiveness should not be, forgiveness if we have, then people will take us for a ride. Like that, so many wrong notions are there. If I go there, I will be more happy. If I become that, I will be more happy. Doing adharmic things, I can get away. So many people are doing the evil, they are not getting the results. So, like that, lot of wrong notions. One life only is there. Who has seen before and after? There is no God, there is no reincarnation. Like that, it goes on. One list of delusion, wrong notion. Bhagwan destroys all of them. Mohapakari. Life will bring sometimes situations like that. If our delusions are broken, we should be actually thankful. People get disillusioned, but actually our delusion must be broken. Disillusion meaning when something I have faith in and then my faith is broken, then I've got disillusion. But delusion, when it breaks, then there is peace, there is knowledge, there is happiness, because wrong notion got destroyed. One is liberated actually. So Mohapakari, one who destroys moha. We have moha for what? So many things. For youth, for our property, for money, for enjoyment. Bhagwan destroys one by one all the wrong notions. Then only one will be liberated. So Sada Chidananda Sandoha Mohapakari Prasida Prasida Prabho Manmathari. Please be gracious. Please be gracious. O Lord Prabhu. Manmathari, one who is the destroyer of Kama. Manmatha. Manmatha only is a word which tells us that Kama is born out of our manthan of the mind only, by imagination in our mind. When we look at something, we start imagining fancifully, it has happiness. Kama enters through three doors. Senses, Indriyani. When I see something, hear, taste, smell, touch, through that more desire to enjoy comes. Or I see somebody enjoying, then I feel, I also must enjoy. All the advertisements are like that. When you see some of the advertisements, then one will feel, oh, I also must have. My life also will be happier with this. So, through senses, then through the mind by recalling some enjoyment that we had and reliving that in the mind, or through the buddhi, imagining new forms of enjoyment. Mix two, three things and enjoy in a creative way. Kullad pizza. Pizza in a kullad. Enjoy. Somebody imagined and oh, enjoy. We'll make it like this and we give and people will be happy. So, Indriyani Mano Buddhi Asyadhisthana Uchyate. In the third chapter in the Gita, Bhagwan says the entry points and the establishment of karma is through these three. One who is the destroyer of this, Manmathari. Where this some other time I will take up the whole story of Kama Dahana. But the point is, karma when it comes makes us extrovert, and so Shiva, who is our nature, we can't realize. And that's why Kama and Ram, they don't go together. One requires turning within, one requires going out completely. So, one who destroyed Kamdev, meaning one who is not affected by sensual desires, selfishness, and one who lives in the state of selflessness, one who lives in the state of no body identification. Kama or even passion, when we say, it is that which increases our body identification. One who does not engage in things which will increase body identification, who is beyond it, is Manmathari. So this is the beautiful sixth verse, and we will meditate on that.